Hello, everybody, and welcome to Huddle Time with Ronit. I hope you guys are doing really great. Super, super happy to have you guys all here. What are you doing tonight? I feel like, where are you tonight? We are in Florida, warm Florida. It's gorgeous here. I'm actually at Ana Maria's Island. If you have not yet to see Ana Maria's Island, let me tell you, it is absolutely gorgeous here. And I'm super excited for our show tonight. We have a really special guest tonight. As always, there's nothing like having Sam Via on the house. So let's talk a little bit about Americans Beauty Show. Every Monday we come here to Americans Beauty Show. Our sponsors and our partners, we've been doing it for 18 months. But we're super excited because Americans Beauty Show is coming to town, coming to Chicago. It's back full force. And this year we're going to have the big brands are going to be there. Ratcan is going to bring in, Amika is going to bring in. All the big brands are going to be so much fun. And we'll listen to you. We know you love shopping and we know you love education. So if you have not yet to buy your ticket, if you've not yet to do so, this is your opportunity to buy it in a great price before they start going up. This is the time to do it. So don't forget to buy your ticket. Now, if you're a salon and you wanted to get a ticket for everybody, it's a short ticket and you can buy it and bring your whole salon. This is a perfect time in the spring to bring your salon. Go to Americans Beauty Show and .com and get those tickets. This is the time to do it. No better time than now. I also want to say thank you guys for our sponsors. Textel is our sponsors, and we're proud to have Textel. Textel is a two-way communication between you and your clients, between you and your staff. What better way to communicate with your staff? At Salon Cadence, we use Textel. As a matter of fact, Sam Via use Textel. So Textel is such an amazing way to connect with the consumer. It's faster, more efficient than any other platform to talk. It's much faster than email. And people really like to get connection. It's much more personal. And that's why I highly recommend Textel. And of course, I want to just say thank you for our sponsor. Salon Cadence is a white glove teaching and training company that helps salon and spa owners achieve high profits at being top 2% in our industry, that allows you to grow and scale your business to the 7 figures. And why? Because you would like to support your team and really create an amazing future for your staff and legacy. And of course, you would love to have achieve the goals that you want. So saloncadence.com has been on sponsor from the beginning. And if you want to learn anything about saloncadence.com, of how you can achieve that level of success, go to saloncadence.com or go to Profitable Salon and Spa Owners Facebook page. Now, we're here and we bring you every week some really great thought leaders, some really great game changers. At Americans Beauty Show, we're going to have our panel. Our panel is made out of 9 game changers this year. So you do not want to miss it. And it's going to be on Saturday at 3:30, just because before the event is coming at 3:30 p.m. And we are going to have 9 amazing game changers, individuals in our industry that are going to share with you what does it take to be really successful in every part of the industry, every part in the beauty industry. So please make sure you come in on Saturday. All right. So hello, everybody. And let's go into our great guest, Sam Via. Sam Via has been in our industry more than a minute, let me tell you that. But he's been around for quite substantial. He has won many awards. This past year, he's won 2021, the NAHA Educator of the Year. Who doesn't know Sam Via? Not only that he has been such a contributor to our industry in every level. I will tell you, watching Sam Via speak about the future of our industry in every level, has inspired so many of us in this past 3 years, specifically in the past 3 years. Sam Via is a game changer. He's an innovator. He has built such a force brand, but more than anything, not only as a global artistic ambassador for Redken, but not only that he is been supporting us, stylists, beauty professional, salon owners, educators, train the trainers. He has been such an amazing leader in our industry, and all he does is just share his knowledge. And I'm super excited to bring him tonight and share once more Sam Via, my friend.
Hi, Ronit. Good evening, and thank you so much for that awesome introduction. It's just great to see you, and it's great here to be with your community this evening.
Oh, thank you, Sam. It's so good to have you here tonight. What are you doing tonight? What's Monday?
I just finished playing soccer with Mateo, my son Mateo.
Oh.
And I got to tell you, that little guy is so good with his feet. It's amazing just watching him. He's just turned 5. So I'm spending a lot of my time with him. And that's just been quite a journey. He's actually been teaching me some things, speaking of education, but just watching him grow. It's really interesting, though, having a child and watching them change every day and just grow every day, and how they kind of educate themselves as they go along the journey is really interesting. I'm learning a lot watching him.
Now, so 5 years old, what's his, I think it was, for me, it was a long time ago, because and I remember 5 years is like the best age,
Yes.
When they start 5 all the way until 12, I feel like it's this. What's an interest for a 5-year-old these days, especially during these crazy times?
He watches Bob Ross. I should have brought some of his paintings and put them.
Is that the YouTube? Bob Ross, is that the one in YouTube?
Yeah, Bob Ross, he watches it on YouTube, but Bob Ross has passed away. But he's that famous painter, just really basic famous painter. And we got him an easel and some paints, and that's what he does. He just watches Bob Ross. So it's interesting seeing some of the things that he's picked up since we've been kind of spending a lot of time together.
Yes.
But it's really just fun just watching them. Like I said, every day there's a learning process that goes on, and you can see it happen every day. It's amazing. I love it.
I love that. So you guys spend a lot of time together. Now, Sam, you're so busy. You got so much going on in your life. You've been an educator for such a long time. You've been a performer for such a long time, an ambassador for Redken, created more than one business in your life. Okay. And you got the responsibility. You're an influencer in our industry. You contribute so much for so many of us. We look at you as one of our biggest mentors. How do you find time, and how do you make the time to spend with your family?
Well, since having Mateo, it's been quite difficult, because I really feel, he's only 4, he's only 5 once. And time there is really valuable to me right now. Whereas in the past, education and being a teacher was really my number one focus. And don't get me wrong, it's still a huge focus in my life. Yet I think time is something that it's all about how you manage your time. I'm so fortunate, Ronit, to be surrounded by a team that manages my time. So it's a point where in my life where I'm surrounded by a team that does a lot of the work. They do practically everything. Dana Schmitzbauer, I have to give her a lot of credit. She's my VP of marketing. What she's done, putting this ambassador program together for us, which really got more foot soldiers out there for the Sam Via brand, if you will. And it was a great way for us to also up our content level on the social game. So, when you surround yourself with a team, and what's interesting is, I want to just say this now, not everybody needs to be a leader. And I did a keynote speech yesterday for a brand, and I was talking about that. And I got into this whole idea of researching wolves. Yes. And the reason I did that, Ronit, was because of the wolf cut. So I researched the wolves, and I learned more about how the wolves work together, and how there's really no leader. They're all
I love that. You're talking about the pack. You talk
Yes, about the wolf pack and
yes,
how they work together. They all know their responsibility, and when it's time, they all act on their responsibility. So, salon owners, I want you to think about that in terms of it. Is maybe it's not, call it a team, call it a pack, whatever you want, but everybody there brings something to the table. They bring something, some leadership qualities that they have. You need to discover that and capitalize on that. For example, someone within your salon team could be a great teacher. They're really into design and they like to break cuts down. If you see somebody like that, that's a green flag that somebody could really lead your team and take control of being the educator and teaching your associates, your assistants. So I think, Ronit, time is something we all have in life, but it's all about how do you manage your time, and then how do you manage those people around you. Right now, those people around me, they manage me. They manage me. I don't,
that's where you want to get to. You want to be able to empower your team
yes.
lead to make decisions that helps you come in and perform the best way you can perform. And
Right.
so I think that is where you strive to get to, where
Mm-hmm.
you have a whole team, like you said, ambassador, that really help you get to that point. So it allows you to spend time with your son.
Yes, and that's what's so. I mean, and like I said, they they're so supportive in that. And I'm at a point in my career where I'm not young, and I realize that leaders know when to step aside, and you have to know when to step aside and let someone else come up and kind of like lead the pack, if you will, or be the voice, if you will. I think that's important. But I think it really success begins with education. No matter what kind of business or company or whatever it is, it's education. I think education, because things change. Things change, and you really have to have the attitude to be open and change with things. There's so many salon owners out there right now, Ronit, that are sorry they didn't make the decisions they should have made 10 years ago.
Totally.
Yes, and now they're behind the time trying to catch up. Example being
Or
social
not
media.
being able to. Or not.
Yes, or now not being able to. Right. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
So I think, what we need to understand is whatever you choose to do, you have to have the ability and the willingness. And let me say this in a different way. Instead of shift and pivot, be agile.
Yeah.
So important today in today's world that you're agile. And, for me with my teaching, I have to be agile, meaning understand who's in front of me. I can't teach everybody the same way. Who's in front of me? Is it an offline crowd or an online crowd?
Sam, what does it mean to be agile? So how does it actually show up as being agile?
Well, okay. Let me give you a prime example. I'll go right where an example that I'm well aware of. Do I have a Redken audience in front of me? Okay. Or do I have a non-Redken audience in front of me? Now, if I've got a Redken audience in front of me, I'm bringing the Redken culture. Yes. Now, if I have a non-Redken audience in front of me, I'm going to bring some Sam Villa culture, but some of that Redken culture, but a different way. So that's being agile. It's being agile. Being agile could mean, okay, I have a beginner in front of me, not an advanced person. All right. I have a culture of a salon in front of me that is all, they're the layer kings of the community. Okay. So I have to be agile there. Then I have the precision salon over here. I got to be agile and shift to that game. So that's what I mean. You just got to be able to juggle your skill sets as an educator and understand who's in front of you.
Got it. So that means that, and I'm taking your example, and I'm actually bringing it to anybody who's like, maybe you feel really great about a certain skill set, like but being really great about cutting short haircuts, but you're not really great at long layers, or you're not really great at, but learn it, adapt to it, do something, bring that into your repertoire. And or something like, if you don't feel very confident about how to work with a certain type of a consumer or certain type of a client, how to be really flexible with that client, how to really work with that client.
Think about the trends today, Ronit.
Yes.
You got the mixie, you got the pixie, you got the pixie, you got the mullet, you got the shag, you got the shaglet. Now you got the octopus.
The octopus.
Who cares if you really like them or not? If you choose to be a teacher, if you choose to be a leader in your salon and you want your team to be up to date on the trends or what people are asking for, because it's about them, not about what you like. It's about the person in the chair. So I have to be agile enough to understand what are their needs, what are their expectations. Say, okay, yeah, Mixie, I know how to do it. Pixie, I know how to do it. Bixie, I know how to do it. Octopus, I know how to do it. Now, I might not like them, but I know how to do them in a way where I can satisfy them and it satisfies my needs as a service provider. You see, education today can be more felt than it can be described. I want everybody to get that. Okay. Education today can be more felt than it can be described, meaning it's the backbone of our industry. And I don't know a body that cannot stand upright without a backbone. And education is the backbone of this industry. So if you want to stand upright at the chair, then you need to have a backbone, and that backbone is education.
Oh, so I love that you brought it up. Because for the longest time, we've been teaching our students at Salon Candidates, all salon owners at any level and any phase or any size, right? We've been teaching that, they have to be really understand your numbers. What does it take to be really successful? Mm-hmm. What does it take to drive? There's 5 drivers in business that you have to drive. As an owner of a business, if you have more than 3 employees, it's not about your show anymore. It's your company show. And so absolutely, and I'm going to one point with that, so bear with me here. So you absolutely need to know every aspect of your business. You have to know marketing. You have to understand branding. You have to understand the voice of you have to lead people. It's no longer about you being at the chair. It's about leading your people. Now, we need to know profits. We need to align our goals for our profits. So pricing is really important. And all of that, it's super important. But when it comes to excitement, when it comes to just move your energy, to invigorate yourself, especially today, where we can get the most motivation is by being competent. And your staff need to be competent. And that's why I feel like we all are craving hands-on. We're all like craving the touch again, where we've been lacking it. So what better way to strengthen your culture through education?
Well, let me ask, it's a simple example would be, to a salon owner, I ask you, do you have a stylist that's constantly running behind? Ask yourself that. Now, if you do, my suggestion would be explore the why behind that. And the why is because in most cases, that is a designer. I'm going to speak on the design side. That's a designer that cuts by feel. And it requires more time to cut by feel. They don't have a system in place that they can go from A to B to C to D and E, get the final result. So they feel their way through the haircut, and that takes more time. So salon owner, you can look at numbers, but what I want you to do is open your eyes and look at the performance of what's going on. And if you look at the numbers and you're like saying, this person's constantly behind, you need to discover why they're behind. It's not they're behind because they only know what they know, and that's how to cut the way that
I love that. So we all know that time standards could be like anywhere from this to that, right? Yes. If they are behind, it's not, we look at this in a really weird way. We look at this like, guys, we have to move on. We have to take another client, or we have to make more money, or we have to amplify more on productivity. But what people don't understand, that if they run behind, the consumer does not want to be in your chair that long of a time. They have other things to do. They have other places to be, especially if they pay for a babysitter. Right. So it's so important to have the right time standards. And Sam, what do you suggest, or what do you do when you have staff that constantly run behind? Why? What's going on?
Well, obviously, you're a coach. It's definitely communication builds wealth. So the first thing that needs to take place is a one-on-one communication session and ask the person why is that taking place, and then give your perspective on why that's taking place. But I think what we need to make the stylist at the chair understand is that education is what is so important because it supports continued growth and it helps to improve the skill sets. So when you improve your skill sets, when the more education you take, the more you discover in terms of, oh wow, I can do what I already do it that way, and that way doesn't take me as much time. Okay, now I want to back up on that. There's things that there's two sides of that coin. You know, I think it's about what we really need to do as salons is we need to discover the personalities of who's in our chair.
Yeah.
Okay? So now I could have a personality that wants to talk all day.
Yeah.
I could have a personality that doesn't want to talk. So, you know, who's the personality that's sitting in your chair? It's like coaching. Ronit, you know this. I cannot coach people the same way. There's principles to coaching, but I can't coach everybody. I need to coach the personality.
Yeah.
So you need to understand when you've got this running behind with stylists, you need to look at the personality and discover the personality and coach the personality and make them understand that by them running behind, it's not helping their pocketbook. Now, maybe their pocketbook is not their primary concern.
Exactly.
Is there something wrong with that?
No.
As long as they're producing, they're happy. See, I think what we need to do is I think salons need to invest in employee happiness.
What does that mean?
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah. What does that mean?
I would recommend every month they're getting a DoorDash card. $50 a month. That's right. I know it's investment. Sam, I got 10 stylists. You're talking to me, $50 a month. That's an investment, my friends. See, that's the type of investments that salons have not taken the effort to make on the personal side, the wellness side of a stylist. So Sam, come on, man. What's a $50 DoorDash card going to do? Well, guess what? They're booked all day long. They haven't eaten. And normally they're trying to beg somebody to go get them something to eat, or they go without eating. Or now they got a DoorDash card. Boom, I'm going to order something right now. Boom, it's there. Now they can eat. Or you might have a stylist in that's going to save their DoorDash cards 12 months, $50 a month, and then use it for Christmas.
Yeah, absolutely. And
use
talking
it for
about
their child's birthday. See, that's investing in employee happiness. Wellness, Andrew Carruthers. Get him in the salons. That's investment. That is prime example of investing in employment and employee happiness. That's what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. And I'm so loving what you bring in, because it's not always about another dollar on your paycheck. It really is about asking your staff member, if I could bring happiness, more happiness to your life, how would you like it to be shown up? What do you need? Just ask. What do you need?
So how about asking this salon owner? How about asking this? So what does salon happiness look like to you, Yvette? I'm talking to my stylist, Yvette. What does salon happiness look like to you? Well, to me, Sam, salon happiness looks like a lunch hour.
Boom.
Boom. Oh, a lunch hour. Wow. What's that?
Yeah.
You see, that's the communication where communication builds wealth. Communication builds wealth. We've already got the number side down. There's a lot of help that still needs that. They need you, Ronit. They need you on that profit side. So what we also need is we need the Andrew Carruthers. We need that investment in employee happiness. They need to understand there's other ways that you can motivate your staff, motivate your team. And education is a prime way to continue to motivate them. Education, as far as I'm concerned, it's a given that needs to be in every salon.
Absolutely. It's a must. It's a prerequisite. And not to mention, education is rounded. It's not just one way. There's self-development today. You wanna invest in your staff. Teach them how to save, how to buy their first house, how to buy their first car, how to own a vacation. I mean, let's face it, Sam. How many people do you know that are in any business? Forget corporate. I'm not talking about corporate, but in any small business, that are working more than 50 weeks a year. I mean,
Mhm.
literally, I think they're working 48 weeks at maximum. So why not say, hey guys, not only that we are a salon that believes in vacations, that believes in flexible time, we are going to pay you 4 weeks vacation a year. Why not?
Yep,
Why
I
not?
agree. Right.
Right?
You
So
know,
if you have DoorDash a gift card once a month, just as a thank you for being a $10 one, if you give them lunchtime, if you invest in the future of our industry that will never leave our industry.
now let's look at the other side. I totally agree with you, my dear. Let's look at the other side of that
Yeah.
I hear from salon owners. And
Yes.
what I hear from salon owners, well, Sam, you know what? I'm tired of investing my stylists because when I invest them, they stay with me for a year or 2 years and then they leave. And I tell them, I said, great. You just put out a great hairdresser out in the industry. Congratulations. You see, it's the mindset. See, listen, as a salon owner, I'm going to put myself in as a salon owner now. I'm going to throw myself in that game. And I was a salon owner for over 20 years.
Yes, I know.
As a salon owner, I really believe that, the team that you build is a great example of who you are inside. It's your heart, your soul, It's
Yeah.
like when people say, I love you, they
Yeah.
sincerely look at you in the eyes and say, I love you, and they pass away and they leave. What you still carry them with you because they're seeing the world through their eyes. Because when someone says, I love you, they're actually sharing their heart and their soul with you. And that's a piece of them that's with you the rest of your life. So when I go, let's say, for example, like when my mother passes away, one of the things my mother loved was the Santa Cruz God, I lived there, the drive, Westlake Drive, she loved that drive. So every time I would take that drive, I'm going to see that through my mom. My mom's going to see that through my eyes. So the point that I'm trying to make is, as a salon owner, you have to understand it's a relationship and a connection that you need to build. To understand that the relation connection you're building is you're building a superior future hairdresser. And that's what's going to make you successful. So the door needs to be revolving. You don't stop educating in the salon and say, well, I got a full salon. Let's not educate and get any more people in. I say, keep them coming in. And the reason being is because that door revolves and people leave, come and go.
You're touching my favorite points, right? And I'm totally with you. First of all, I just want to talk about this. My daughter left my house when she was 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Is something wrong with that?
No.
My son left the house when they were 22 years old. And is something wrong with that? What I know that I created a strong kid that is independent, that is ready for the world. So I am going to take pride, and I have been always taken pride of every beautiful human that came and worked with me, and then decided one day that they want to move on and do something different. What's wrong with that? I was part of their success. Okay.
Yes.
Listen. I get it. That, and I mean, seriously, Sam, how many children do you really have? No. How many children?
Oh,
Thousands.
as a teacher, many, many, many. Yes. Yes.
Thousands. Okay.
Yes.
Are you going to hold it against them if they're successful?
No.
You were part of it.
No.
Exactly. So here's the thing. The thing is, what we as a salon owner, we need to stop feeling like a victim. We really do.
Yeah.
We got to start feeling like, listen, we have the opportunity to employ or to give opportunities to anybody who think like a shareholder. These staff members that we employ, they are our investors. They invest in our company just as much as we invest in them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. It's that relationship. And if something didn't work, you got to take it as a cost of doing business. It costs money to be in business. So build it into your profit, and always hire and always recruit and always interview, because guess what? That's
And
just the way it is. It's just the way.
And you know what? I love what you just said, and embrace the learning lessons. You know, when you lose people, embrace the learning. Just
Why?
debrief with yourself. What's the
Yeah.
why? Why did it happen? What can I do better?
Yes, exactly. And I love that, Sam. Sam, you just got such a progressive, in a compassion way, look on the real life, the real world. Because seriously, you know, there's nothing wrong when people decide this is their time to move on. But if they move on and you learn something from it, then do an exit interview and find out exactly the why. How can you have done something better? And sometimes, Sam, it is what it is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. I mean, how many times have we heard that? You know, it is what it is. Roll with it. Go with it. You know, I think right now it's all about it. It's time for attitude to shine. Attitude needs to shine in our industry right now. So I think what everybody needs to do is just tune out that little voice of limitations. You know, tune into that voice of courage. I think you really got to take that bold step toward, you know, that passion that you have as a salon owner, that passion that you have as a stylist. You know, life is an adventure. It's an adventure. So you got to embrace the adventure from the beginning to the end. And it's a game of odds that are constantly changing, and things are developed. You're constantly coming up against challenges, and there's also constant opportunities that are opening up.
Yeah, and bonuses.
So to win it, you got to play it. So sitting on the sidelines won't do it, even after you've achieved everything you've achieved. So it's no time to stop living. It's time to jump in and start playing, and don't sit on the sidelines.
I mean, because the alternative is you can go and work for a corporate 9 to 5 and only have 2 weeks a year vacation. And is that what you really want to do? We're in like an entrepreneurial life is wonderful. Okay. Artistic expression is wonderful. Making people feel amazing is wonderful. And by that, you feel great. So thanks for saying that, Sam, because I didn't even think we're going to go to that segment, but I'm so happy you did go to that segment. You're amazing. Now let's talk about ABS. Let's talk about why ABS is going to be so different, and how are you going to show up on ABS, other than we're going to be in the panel together again.
Yes, I'm looking forward to your panel. Like Ronit said, don't miss that panel on Saturday in the afternoon. Don't miss that. It's some really, really talented voices that you need to hear. And sometimes it's just that one little bit that you hear, that one little phrase that can turn your world around. So don't miss that. ABS show. ABS show is a staple. It's one of I'm going to just say it's one of the grandfather shows, meaning that it's a staple. ABS is a show that knows what it's doing and knows how to do it right. I'm personally excited for ABS because I'll be with Redken on the Redken stage, but I'm also going to be in the Samvia classroom on our stage, and it's going to be Sammy and Friends. I'm so excited to be with Nick Arrojo. He and I will be on stage together on Sunday in the Samvia classroom. See, this is, once again, Ronit, this is about brands supporting brands and artists supporting artists. So we're going to have, on Saturday, I'll be with Presley Poe in our room. I'm going to have her on my stage. I'm going to have Nick Arrojo. Christopher Benson will be joining us. Braden Peltier, Shannon King. Yes. So, you know, Sammy and Friends at ABS is all about brands supporting brands, artists supporting artists, and education. Not only that, but I mean, ABS is a show that has tons of talent. You've got Candy Shaw, Nick Arrojo's there, Presley Poe's there. God, I mean, it just, and the barbers. You can't, everything that you need in every skill set.
I love the barbers. I just watching the barbers. I mean, I can sit and watch the barbers all day, all night, and just be in their vibe. I just want to be in their vibe.
Well, they really woke us up creatively. I mean, the barbers really broke that out. To the students, don't miss, you know, I get asked by students constantly, Ronit, how did you get where you're at? And my answer is always the same. I went to every hair show I could go to. Education was always at the top of my list. Learning was always at the top of my list. So as a hairdresser, students, you must never cease to learn. Keep going to every show, every class that you can. And you too can sit where I sit. You too can do what I do. If I can do it, you can do it.
Oh my God. I could never have enough of just watching hair. We talked about it a little bit before that, how the alternative show was
Oh,
amazing, amazing. It's what's nice about the ABS show. It's the oldest show, like you said, and there's a lot of real, real heart, passion, and by the way, I'm right here. I have about seven of our students, seven Salon Cadence mentors, and all we did this 3 days is practice and train how to give better consulting and better coaching for Salon Cadence. And the best part about being here is being here and being here together, real in Flash. I asked him, Scott, you live in Alaska, you live in Washington State, you live in Atlanta, you live there. And they all said, we don't care. We just want to be together. We just want to have each other. And that's what's so nice, and we don't have the masks anymore. So that's great. Mm-hmm. And so it's going to be, we have so many parties. Beauty Changes Life is coming.
Yes. Beauty Changes Life is a great event, and that's going to happen on Sunday night. And that's a great opportunity to support the youth. That's a great opportunity to support the butterflies of the future for this industry, because what happens is you got these mentors, these huge mentors mentoring these people, and then you see this all happen, come to life on the runway. So don't miss that. Once again, it's time for us to gather together. It's time for us to network together, schmooze together, have some fun together, and enjoy what we really love, and that's education and these shows.
And take it home with you.
Yes, and make it your own.
So, Sam, what are you going to do different in your classes this year?
Oh gosh, aside from what's happening
Sorry, aside from Octopus and
yes, yeah. Well, I got Braden Peltier. Like I said all these names, but most importantly, Jesse Linares and my new art team member, Roger Molina, are going to be with us. So I'm really excited for them. We're going to be discovering everything from short, medium to long hair. I think, when you think about trends, there's a lot of layers going on. But for me right now, it's about a little bit of everything. There's, it's about it's about the personality and who's in the chair and understanding how to meet all these needs. That's what's important. Trends, yes, know them. But we really want to focus on getting back into the guts of what we do. And that's really problems and solutions and helping those clients out with that.
Yeah. So that is the biggest thing, the biggest takeaway that everybody is going to take, because listen, Amazon can do everything, but what Amazon cannot do is customize. And that's, I love that. That's what you're going to bring in, is how to identify who sits in your chair, like a doctor. What do they really need, and how can you produce that look so they can keep coming back? And that's at the end of the day,
Yeah, and you know what? I think retail is something too that I think people need to really stay in the retail game. And I say that because retailing, when stylists, when I want to speak just to the salon owners, share this with your stylists, and stylists, if you're listening, you got to understand that retail is part of our professional responsibility. More so, retail is part of the service of teaching. You're a service provider. So what you're doing is you're teaching the client about retail. You're not pushing or selling. So I want you to really understand that it's tell versus sell. What you're telling is the education side of why they need something. We just did this beautiful color in your hair. You need to use this color shampoo and this color conditioner. This is what's going to give your color longevity. See, that's teaching and educating the clients. And that's the mindset we need in the retail game. So retail, don't throw in the towel, guys, on retail. And, okay, you can make up all the excuses you want, all Amazon, all this. Great. You know what? They're there. They're not going anywhere. So figure out another way to play with them, but don't stop playing in the sandbox.
Well, I think that's that point is so important. It's about asking questions, and it's not about telling. It's about understanding your client and what they really need and recommending, because when you go to see a doctor and you sit at a doctor and the doctor said, okay, so you have strep throat and you need antibiotics to cure it, you're not going to argue with your doctor, You're going to take that and you're going to go and, do what you need to do. Same thing with what we do. So I love that you bring that return point, because we all have to understand that we sell every day ourselves.
Oh, yes.
Every day we sell. I mean, right now, guys, you listen to Sam and Ronit, and Sam and Ronit are selling you a point of view of how you can become very successful. So, we're trying to recommend to you what you guys are doing. And so for any stylist or any salon owners or any beauty professional that is here with us today, come on, because we're going to give you so many great tools. And by the way, Sam, the book is coming up, and with hopefully we're launching it at ABS. So we're going to be launching it on stage on the ABS. So I'm super excited about that. Profit First for Salon is finally coming out. It took us 2 years to do this book, but it's for every stylist in this industry, or every salon, or any beauty professional needs to have that book. And Sam, I love to talk about profit, because we all need to live a rich life.
Yep.
The rich life is about being happy, having to yourself the dreams that you want to create for yourself, legacy, and for your family. And so what's better way to share it at ABS? And so I'm super excited.
Well, I hope to see everyone there. And if you see me there, see me at ABS, do me a favor, come up, say hello, let's hug it out, elbow bump, whatever, one handshake. But let's get together once again and have some fun. And most of all, embrace education. And remember, education is the backbone, as I said, of the industry. And you just cannot stand upright without that backbone. And that's education.
Absolutely. That is the culture. Yeah. And so, and just to say about Sam, Sam is the most approachable person I've ever met. He's got such an aura. You got such an aura about yourself, and the aura is so welcoming. It's always have been. And you make us all feel so welcome. So if you see Sam passing through, don't get celebrity struck.
No,
Go and rub elbows, because he's the best. Well, listen, I'm not going to do the elbow thing. I'm going straight for the squeeze.
No, we got the hug going on. Heart to heart.
That's what I want. That's all I want, the bear.
Yeah. If there's anything I missed during this whole thing, it's the ability to hug somebody and the ability of being hugged, having that ability of being hugged. That's what I missed. But I look forward to that. And remember, guys, I'm a hairdresser, so I'm your messenger. So definitely not a rock star, but a messenger.
Yeah, come say hey. Tina is here.
Hi.
Hi, Tina.
I don't know if you remember me, Sheer Art. I was at Sheer Art for many, many years with Joanne.
Yes. How are you, my dear? Nice to see you.
Yeah, you too. I was in your house doing extensions for you. So
yes.
Say hello.
Well, thank you. It's great to see your face. You're in good hands, I see. It's surrounded by great people.
Absolutely. Keep preaching. We love you so much.
Thank you so much. I'm not going anywhere. You're stuck with me.
Oh, it's funny. My son's in training right now, and you are his whole library.
No kidding. That's
absolutely
awesome. Well, hopefully someday I'll get an opportunity to meet him, and make sure when he sees me, he better come up and introduce himself.
Maybe in Chicago. We'll see.
Okay, that would be awesome.
Yeah. Great. Thank you.
Nice to see you, Tina.
Tina. So thank you, Sam. Thanks again. Thanks for coming here, buddy.
Yes. Oh, so it's always a pleasure to spend some time with you and your community, and reach out if there's anything that I can do for you. And then once again, guys, always remember, let's continue to support each other. But most of all, respect yourself and respect each other.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you, Ronit.
Guys, it's another great show. I'll see you next Monday, everybody, at Huddle Time with Ronit at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And for now, enjoy your week. It's going to be a fabulous week. Sam, hold on. I'm going to end that broadcast.
Okay.